Today is Friday, November 1st, 2013 at Vincent Corporation in Tampa, Florida. Today we are doing some onion tops, and here's what they look like after they have been, the bulbs have been cut off, the rest has been cut in half and then agitated. There are some still photos I did to show you detail on that. We're going to be using a series KP press, KP6 in this case, driven from the inlet end. Here's a look into the inlet hopper, the screw turning in there, the screened area where the liquid is intended to come out and the solids come out past this air-actuated discharge cone. The amount of pressure on this plate is adjustable, and typically the more pressure you put on there, the drier the material is coming out. Right now we have about 20 psi on this cone. These are being fed in by hand so that a good portion of the liquid drains off, but it still leaves surface liquid and whatever's inside the tube. Since there is a decent amount of free liquid, the early part of the screen actually does something. And as the press fills, you see it starts to move towards the discharge end here. And then ultimately there will be a press cake formed at the plug. It's not atypical to see one side versus the other have more liquid coming out. Sometimes the screen and screw are not perfectly aligned with one another, and so in some instances you get a side like this with not much coming out. This is a shot of the inlet hopper, by the way. They're feeding no problem. And then you got the other side where you see everything. It has something to do with the rotation of the screw and a variety of other things. Here's some liquid leaking out past the cone. You'll see that initially until you build a plug of solids. Press liquor? Yes, press liquor would be great. Thank you. Bill's catching a baggie of press liquor.
How much back pressure are we at?
20 psi. There's our press cake forming. We had a rubber seal on the spout, which happens to be coming along with the product, but it shouldn't cause us any problems right now. It seems to be pushing out with decent force, which means it may likely be able to take more than the 20 psi, but we're just trying to demonstrate.
Still real slimy and wet.
How much do you get when you squeeze, though?
You can feel it coming out, but
yeah, but you can't get any drops. That's about as good as you can expect the press to do. Is not get any more free liquid when you squeeze it by hand. So that's pretty good. So yeah, could it take 25, 30 psi? Maybe. But for the purposes of running the test and demonstrating that the press would run no problem on this material, I think it's fine. Bill, after it comes out, another 30 seconds or so, let's take a baggie full and also try another squeeze test just to see. Things tend to change as the press runs for a while and reaches equilibrium. No problems at all feeding. The extra liquid is handled quite easily. You can see we're not overwhelming the screen. The screen has a lot of open area left, especially if you include the other side. Yeah, it's packing in there pretty tight, so that's good. There's our baggy sample. That's probably enough, Bill. And then let's see what happens with another.
When I get this fresh stuff coming out.
So here's another test squeezing. Yeah, a little bit, some liquid formed in a film between his fingers, but that's fine. That's not bad at all. All right. So there's just a little bit more left to go through. And that'll conclude our test. We have, does look like there's some solids coming through the screen, a little foamy, I guess, a little thick, the pressed liquor, but nothing out of the ordinary. It's what we would have expected to see. But very nice press cake.
Do we have a picture of the box and how much each box weighed?
Yes, I will get that. That's a great idea. Because we have the timer here on the video, how long it took us to run.
Well, and we know we've generated, the sample would generate 5 gallons of liquid at 8.3 pounds, so whatever we started with.
Well, in fact, here's the thing. We can just do a yield by measuring, by weighing the pressed cake and the pressed liquor, and we'll know our percent yield. But speaking of the material, I'll take a walk over here. This is what we got from Church Brothers Focus. Salinas, iceless green onions, and then we chopped the tops off. We had 4 boxes, the one I just videoed, plus 3 more, and each had a bag in it. So that's what we started with for the test. And again, we can get a yield by measuring the pressed cake and pressed liquor together, and that'll give you an idea of weight reduction as well as moisture content reduction. So we'll report back to you, send you the test results, some photos, and post this video.